What if I told you that your brain is lying to you? Not about your crush or where you left your keys, but about what you're capable of. Listen, this isn't some motivational quote. This is the 40% rule, coined by the man who knows a thing or two about suffering, which is David Goggins. Every single time you feel like quitting, whether it's on the 10th push-up, the last mile of a run, or the final hour of studying for that brutal exam, you are only operating at 40% capacity. And today, we're making his brain training low-key easy. Because the secret to that extra 60%? It's all mental. Okay. All right, here's the deal. I'm not going to tell you to go run 5 marathons. Instead, we're going to break down the actual psychology behind the 40% rule and show you 3 simple and actionable steps you can use today to unlock that extra mental energy for studying, working, or just getting off the couch. That's if you want to, LOL. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to call your brain's bluff and instantly access a hidden reserve of focus and willpower. Let's talk about your brain's safety feature. But first, why does your brain lie? Well, it's actually trying to help you. No, seriously. Think of your brain as an overprotective parent. Its number one job is survival, and that means keeping you safe, comfortable, and away from anything that requires too much energy, even if it means you have to lie on that dirty couch all day. So, when you start a tough task, like a 2-hour study session, your brain registers the discomfort, the fatigue, and the sheer effort. It sends out a red alert signal, a wave of doubt and fatigue, to get you to stop. Why, you ask? Because stopping saves energy. The thing is, this signal is almost always premature. It's an estimation of your limit, not the actual limit. Goggins learned this during Navy SEAL training. When he felt like he was at 100%, he was only at 40%. The 40% rule is simply the mental hack to push past that false alarm and show your brain, I'm fine, we're doing this. If you've gotten to this part of the video, it's time for the 3 low-key easy hacks. Listen carefully. Ask yourself, how? How do you actually access that extra 60% without having to run a marathon? Hack 1. The cookie jar method, aka the memory bank. Goggins uses this to remember past victories when he feels like quitting. For you, this can be the academic wins jar, the project completed jar, or whatever. When you feel that urge to quit at anything, you don't think about the pain. You pull out a cookie. You remember that time you pulled an all-nighter and aced to the final, or that time you finally mastered a new skill, or finished a project. If your brain says, stop, you're tired, you interrupt with, oh yeah? Remember that time I did that harder thing? I can handle this 15 more minutes. Hack 2. The accountability mirror, aka the quick fix. This is the easiest one. Goggins would write down all his failures and goals on sticky notes and put them on his bathroom mirror. We're simplifying it. When you feel yourself procrastinating, you need a quick, honest check-in. Ask yourself, out loud, what is the one thing I can do right now to move forward? Don't ask, should I study? Ask, can I read one more paragraph? This tiny commitment bypasses your brain's too hard alarm. It's too small to trigger the 40% wall. That single paragraph becomes the momentum for the next 10 minutes, and suddenly, you're past the 40% mark without even noticing. Hack 3. The goal decoupling, aka the stupid step. When you look at a massive goal, like getting a 4.0 GPA or starting a new business, your brain sees a mountain and immediately says, nope. This is where you need to decouple the end goal from the current task. Instead of thinking about the final exam or the startup, only think about the next step. The goal isn't to run a marathon, it's to tie your shoes. The goal isn't to get an A, it's to open the textbook. The real secret here is making the action stupidly simple. So simple that saying no feels dumber than saying yes. You get it right? Okay. So, once you start, the brain switches from that danger, stop, to okay, fine, we're already here, let's finish it. That's how you trick the brain in this 40% rule. Before we continue, let me share some tricks. You can call them interesting facts if you want to. I will give you 2 in this video that are backed up by science, and also they helped David Goggins a lot. Number 1. The central governor theory. This theory suggests that the brain is constantly regulating how hard your body is working, acting as a central governor to prevent catastrophic failure. That's your brain saying, we're stopping here so you don't die. But research shows this governor is highly conservative. It pulls the plug way before you're in real danger. Our modern lives rarely push us to true physical or mental collapse, so the governor is constantly overreacting. Number 2. The power of self-talk. Studies show that simply changing your internal dialogue from I can't to I can try for one more minute reduces the perceived effort of a task. You're literally turning down the volume on your brain's alarm system just by changing the script. That's huge. Enough talk. Let's do some real-world applications. So, how does this apply to your study session, your workflows, besides just telling yourself to suck it up? Application 1. The procrastination push. When you hit the 40% wall of procrastination, that moment where you know you should start but can't, don't try to start the whole project. Use the stupid simple step and commit to only 5 minutes of work. Set a timer. When the timer goes off, ask yourself if you want to keep going. 9 times out of 10, you'll be past the 40% wall and keep working. Application 2. The focus reset. If you're a couple of hours into studying and your focus is gone, that's your brain signaling the 40% shutdown. Instead of quitting, use the cookie jar method. Take a 60-second break, look around, and recall your last 3 wins. This shifts your mental state from suffering to competence. You remind your brain that you are a winner, and it can handle this discomfort. Application 3. The exam stamina hack. During a long exam, when you hit that wall of fatigue in the last 30 minutes, you're not out of energy. You're just uncomfortable. Here's where you actively talk to yourself. Say, I'm not tired, I'm just uncomfortable. I have 60% left. This simple mindset shift is the difference between checking out early and reviewing those final few questions that might save your grade. You've gotten this far, and honestly, the video is getting long. So let's do a mini recap. Okay, so what's the takeaway? The 40% rule is not about being a tough guy. It's about mental awareness and micro-commitments. Look at what you should always remember. 1. Your brain is a scared, overprotective parent. Its quit signal is premature. 2. Use the cookie jar to remind yourself of past wins when you feel weak. 3. Use the accountability mirror to force a tiny, stupid, simple first step. Remember that training your brain isn't about one giant leap. It's about 100 tiny steps past that 40% wall. And if you use these hacks in your everyday life, you'll feel less overwhelmed, boost your focus, and actually start working smarter, not harder. Seriously, the best information in this video is what you do with it next. Which brings us to the most important question. Now that you know how to push past your mental limits, what's the single hardest thing you're going to tackle this week? Let me know in the comments below. Sharing your goal makes you instantly more accountable. That's the accountability mirror in action. If this helped you find that extra 60%, hit that like button and subscribe for more low-key, easy breakdowns of complex ideas every week.